Hey, how's it going? Scott here, and I wanted to give you an update on some vinyl that have recently come into my possession. I already went through my entire Phil Collins and Genesis vinyl collection in other videos. You should make sure you watch those, but things are changing and I'm always trying to add to my collection. In fact, my entire record collection here is slowly approaching 25% Genesis and Phil Collins, and I would like it to eventually be 100% Genesis and Phil Collins. I have no purpose for listening to other people's music. What a waste of time. I'm just kidding. Well, actually, I'm half kidding, to be honest. I've got a couple things that were added. Now, remember how I've always said that buying music on Discogs is cheating? Well, I still believe that, and I have actually cheated big time. I finally just gave up, and I was like, there are some 12-inch singles, which I really love 12-inch singles from Phil Collins and Genesis, and there are a lot of them, and I want to collect them all. But there are some singles out there that I'm just never going to come across in a Canadian record store. So I figured I'm going to just resort to Discogs and cheat, which never quite matches that feeling of going to a record store with something in mind and then finding it, or going to a record store and dreaming of maybe finding like a Genesis live bootleg, which I've showed you in another video, and then actually experiencing that discovery moment. For me as a record collector, there's no greater feeling. And so going on Discogs, it's like when I had like 5 records come in the mail the other day, it barely comes close to matching the feeling of finding just one rare vinyl in a record store. That's such a normal, organic feeling of discovering something. So this is really cheating. This is like buying gold as opposed to digging for gold. Having said that, I have 2 records I want to show you really quickly that I wanted to add to my collection. They're not rare, but I wanted to add them to my collection because they are great records and I just didn't own them on vinyl. And the first one is the Buster soundtrack.
Yeah, don't worry about June. I can handle her all right.
Of course you can, Buster.
Has a Groovy Kind of Love, which was a #1 song, and 2 Hearts. Big Noise is a really great song. And then there's this song called Loco in Acapulco, which I think is one of the best songs he's ever written. And it was a Four Tops song that they wrote for the Four Tops. Also, you know what he wrote for the Four Tops was Something Happened on the Way to Heaven, but he kept it. Buster's soundtrack is really great. This is in great condition. So I went to a local record store, and in my mind, I was like, I need to pick up Buster on vinyl because I had seen it in the soundtrack selection a lot. There's a lot of copies of Against All Odds, and I'm even seeing copies of White Nights, but I knew I would find this fairly easily. I wasn't going to resort to Discogs for the Buster soundtrack, and I didn't have to, luckily. So anyway, I went to the record store with this in mind. I was like, I'd love to be surprised by any other Phil or Genesis or Mike and the Mechanics or Peter Gabriel that they have on vinyl or on CD that I'm trying to add to my collection, or even cassette. I thought at the very least I'll find this in the soundtrack section. And I did, and it was $8, I think, or $10. And it sounds really, really good. So that was an organic find.
Of course you can, Buster.
Another record that I have only started listening to recently on streaming platforms, and I thought I have to get this on vinyl because it sounds so good. And I went to a different record store that I frequent. Maybe a couple times a year I check them out because they have a really good prog section. And I went to this record store, and this was one of the records I had in mind. And sure enough, it was there. It was like $6, and it was in excellent shape. This is Philip Bailey, Chinese Wall. This is an unbelievable record. I mean, it is really good. If you're a fan of like No Jacket Required or Michael Jackson or Earth, Wind and Fire, obviously, which are all great music, this Chinese Wall is so good. The best song, and how should you know this record? Why is this relevant? Phil Collins produced this. Phil Collins played the drums on it, and he co-wrote a song called Easy Lover, which is pretty popular. Easy Lover is the first track on side 2, but here's the thing. The whole album is incredible. And Philip posted on Instagram not too long ago on the anniversary of this. He's like, what's your second favorite song on Chinese Wall? Which is kind of a joke that like obviously everyone's favorite is Easy Lover. But for me, it's Chinese Wall. I Go Crazy is incredible. For Every Heart That's Been Broken. I mean, this is a really, really, really good record. If you're into like soul R&B and funk and that kind of stuff, like you have to be kind of into the Michael Jackson stuff. Okay, so the other 5 records I want to show you really quick. Is it 5 or is it 4? It's 5. Is it 4? It's 5. The other 5 records, is it 4? It might be 4. The other records I want to show you is maxi singles, right? All but one. I'd like you to tell me in the comments, what is the history of these 12-inch singles? Because everything I'm gonna show you are remixes. They're not necessarily the original version, so it's not really a single. And a lot of them, they don't have spines. They're kind of in like a thinner jacket. So I'm thinking these were for clubs and for DJs. I don't know like if Take Me Home or Throwing It All Away would have been played at a club, but maybe there's a scenario where like maybe kind of a lighter, more adult contemporary type of club, or where a track like this would be played. But a lot of these, what I'm going to show you, are extended remixes. So I've been wanting to collect a lot of these. I have found, naturally out in record stores, I've found Hanging Long Enough on my own, and I found Studio on my own, and I found Tonight. And so everything else I've kind of resorted to Discogs and cheating that way. I got this whole lot of records, all the rest of the records I'm going to show you, I got for maybe $40, including shipping. So that was pretty nice. I love throwing it all away. This is a Genesis record, so I'm just going to show you this really quickly. And this artwork is so minimal and so really, I don't know, it would be very popular today. I just think it's really cool. Except for that, it's kind of cheesy, like clip art. But anyway, and the back is super minimal. This is Throwing It All Away, the live version. So this actually isn't an extended remix that I was talking about. But this is a really cool record. I've wanted to own this. And so I actually wanted to own this before I finally got The Way We Walk Shorts. And so this track, I believe, is from The Way We Walk Shorts. And so it has Throwing It All Away on side A, the live version. On side B is I'd Rather Be You, which is a Invisible Touch B-side, I believe. And then the other song on side B is Invisible Touch Live, which I also believe comes from The Way We Walk. So this may have been a promo. It says featuring 2 live songs and 1 previously unreleased track. So yeah, I think this was probably a promo for The Way We Walk Shorts, or a single from The Way We Walk Shorts. It was released in 1987, I believe. So anyway, Throwing It All Away live. I wanted to add this to my collection. I kind of like the minimal design. So, but that's not a Phil Collins record per se. Moving along quickly, going back to our dear friend Philip Bailey, and I'm keeping this in cellophane, is the Philip Bailey and Phil Collins 12-inch single for Easy Lover. I have to say, out of all the Phil Collins records and Genesis records out there, minus maybe Duke, this is my favorite artwork. Look how cool this is. Anybody from Nashville will recognize it. Sort of looks like Hat Show print, which it's not, but it looks like it. It has like a printing press look, super minimal, 2 colors. The light blue is probably just 50% of the dark blue. And there on the back, let's take this out here so you can have a look, is Phil and Phil. And so this is the extended remix version. So I don't own this on 7-inch, and they're pretty easy to come by on 7-inch. I will grab them the next time I see them in the wild, because I don't love to collect 7-inches, but I love this artwork so much. So this isn't the normal Easy Lover single. It starts with like kind of a weird drum machine beat, and it's much longer. Let's see how long the Easy Lover song is. 6 minutes and 18 seconds compared to the original, which is... The B-side on this is a song called Woman, which is the second last track on Chinese Wall. I don't get it, because the song Woman is probably the worst song on Chinese Wall. It's just not even, there's another song called Time as a Woman that's even better. I just don't understand why they picked that song. There's so many better songs. I don't know, maybe they wanted people just to buy the record. So this is kind of a promo for Chinese Wall, and it's an extended remix. So this may have been played. Tell me where this would have been used. And look, there's no spine. So it's obviously for DJs, not necessarily collectors, or maybe on radio stations, late night college radio stations playing extended. I'm not quite sure. I am so proud of this next one. This was something I was very, very excited to get. This is In the Air Tonight, and this is also an extended version. So this is not the original version. As you can see, it's in really rough shape, and there's quite a lot of surface noise, and it's falling apart. Quite a lot of surface noise, quite a lot of scratches. So I didn't pay very much for this at all. And I will be looking out in the wild for it. I really like the artwork for this, because it's actually face value. We know that, but with the border, it's really pretty. I actually quite like it. I like it more than face value artwork. Just because of the white border is really nice. And again, everything's minimal. I just love minimal art. And so this has side 1, In the Air Tonight extended remix. Again, is a drum machine throughout the track. I'm trying to see the time. It doesn't show me. And then on side B, this is in such rough shape. That's why I'm keeping it in the plastic. Side 2 is In the Air Tonight, a 1988 remix. And I can't really speak to the difference between the two right now. When I got them just a couple days ago, I was plowing through them all really quickly, so I'm not exactly sure. And then I Missed Again. They just threw on I Missed Again. Now that's kind of interesting. Oh, I just didn't really research this. This is a 1988 release. So this was like 7 years or so after the release. So that's pretty cool. I never even thought of that this would have been an after the fact. So again, maybe something was going on in the clubs where they wanted to have a mix like this. I like how beat up it is. It looks like it's another one I resorted to Discogs for. It reminds me of this, the Shaking the Tree Greatest Hits from Peter Gabriel, which would have been early 90s. And, it's got like an old price tag on the back. So I don't know. I kind of like these old beat up copies. I'm not the kind of collector who needs to have a mint condition record that I'm not even allowed to touch or look at. However, if I ever come across this in better condition for $20 or $30, like in the wild, or for a fair price, then I would for sure pick it up. I have no problem owning multiple copies of the same record. Here's another, is this a single? Yeah, this is another extended mix. It's Take Me Home. On side 1, we have Take Me Home. On side 2, we have We Said Hello Goodbye. On side 1, we have Take Me Home remix, I believe. Look at the back here. It's like super ambiguous. It's hard to see. So let's pull up the record. Side 1, we have Take Me Home extended mix, produced by Phil Collins and Hugh Padgham, mixed by John Tokes. Side 2, we have Take Me Home, the regular version, and we have We Said Hello Goodbye, which I believe is on the CD version of No Jacket Required. So that's the Take Me Home extended mix. Again, the artwork is like a inflated GIF, which is similar to like an inflated clip art. Okay, this last one. This last one is weird. This isn't a single. And you've probably seen this online, a lot of you, but this is a German release, I believe. And this is a mix, and it was released just sometime before No Jacket Required, sometime after Hello, I Must Be Going, because the track list is just the greatest hits from, can you see that? Hello, I Must Be Going and Face Value. So we have side 1 is In the Air Tonight, You Can't Hurry Love, If Leaving Me Is Easy, I Don't Care Anymore, Thunder and Lightning. So a real kind of like every other in a way. Side 2 is It Don't Matter to Me, This Must Be Love, I Missed Again, I Cannot Believe It's True, and Through These Walls. This is actually a really good mix. Like these are some of my favorite, because it has This Must Be Love, which I think is a great tune. It'd be cool if they threw I'm Not Moving on here, but this is a cool mix. And so it's all in German in the back. So I believe this is a German mix. So any of my German friends watching can let me know. And this was probably just a way to get into Phil Collins. And I think I think there's a lot of these type of things, especially from other countries. And so I've seen them in cassettes and on CDs, a lot of different mixes, like Greatest Hits album before Phil Collins came out with the official hits package in the late 90s. That there was a lot of different greatest hits packages coming and going. And so this is a great way to get into Phil Collins, is to leave off some of the deeper cuts and the darker tunes. And it's just like hit after hit. Not hit after hit, but I mean, it starts with In the Air Tonight, then You Can't Hurry Love, which were the big tunes. But it does show some of the bigger tunes. I'm surprised that Behind the Lines isn't on here either. A lot of the upbeat tunes and some of the best songs from Hello and from Face Value. So that's my new collection of records. That's a lot, actually, since I filmed the last thing a couple months ago. I really should slow down, but I'm certainly not slowing down when it comes to Phil and Genesis. I also really want to kind of beef up my Peter collection, some of the live stuff from the 90s I need to get, and Mike and the Mechanic stuff. I'd like to come across a little bit more of those. Maybe pick up some Tony Banks stuff. And then, the Philip Bailey is a great record to listen to. And then Phil's drums are all over that record. So we'll do a review on that record, a standalone video. So thanks for watching.